Tim Gunn, I am so excited that you're back for season 2.
Thank you, Serena. We're excited to be back also.
How does it feel? Because while everything is the same, everything's different. Like there's no travel in this series. The judges are different. How did it feel going back to season 2?
Well, I was ecstatic just to have a season 2.
Yeah.
And actually, I love things that are new. And having Winnie Harlow and Jeremy Scott as our new judges was so thrilling and invigorating. I mean, you don't know how people are going to actually be on camera, but they were so thoughtful and so considerate in how they spoke to the designers and interacted and how deeply they really cared. And on the topic of travel, we were all thinking, well, we're going to be on this ranch at Malibu for all 8 episodes. The venues for the fashion shows, you've seen some of the shows?
I've seen a couple of the shows. They look
Can
spectacular.
You believe, I know it. Can you believe we didn't travel? It's hard to imagine. Yeah. I mean, we're just 100 yards from where we were for the last fashion show, yet it feels completely and totally different. No, it was thrilling.
Yeah. Do you know one thing that hasn't changed? And that's your relationship with Heidi Klum. Tim, I absolutely love it. And I think for me, I squealed as much as the two of you squealed when I first saw the two of you on camera. Like, when did that relationship start? How did it start?
Well, it started 17 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, when we were working on, I'll call it That Other Show.
Yeah, we won't mention it, but That Other Show.
And I was never intended to be on camera. I was a consultant. And then the producers, quite literally, the day before we were starting to tape, the day before the designers were arriving, they asked me whether I'd be willing to go into the workroom and ask them what they're doing. And I said, well, it's how I've spent most of my life as a teacher. But the morning that the designers were arriving, I met Heidi for the first time. We were standing in the forecourt of Parsons where we were taping. And Serena, I have to tell you, I was shaking so violently that I almost fell to my knees. It was just pure, unadulterated panic about being in the presence of Heidi, this supermodel who is more breathtaking in person than she even is on camera. And she's also just the biggest sweetheart. She knew how nervous I was. She took my hand, she wrapped an arm around me, and she said, this is all going to be great. Don't worry about a thing. And she said, I have your back. And she did, and she has ever since.
I was going to say, and you've become besties. And I love that because I think that shows work from the top down, like the attitude that you bring with you guys and the fact that you two are executive producers. You know, Heidi put her arm around you then, but you continue to do that around the contestants. I love it. I love that. I think we all need a Tim Gunn in our lives. The way you give criticism, because criticism is important, but you're never once malicious, Tim.
No, I learned this as a teacher. If your students perceive you as being unkind or thoughtless, then they shut you out. They discredit you, and then anything that you say to them doesn't really matter. And I want wanted my students, and I want the making the cut designers to know that we really deeply care, and we're there to help. And part of helping is being a truth teller. But you don't have to be a mean-spirited truth teller. You can be a positive, constructive truth teller. Yeah. Going back though to Heidi and me, I have to ask you, Serena, don't you think we're the oddest couple in fashion?
You are, but that's why it works. I love it. You're so different. But at the core of it, you're exactly the same because you have passion and you care.
Oh,
and
that's
I think that's
lovely.
why you two click.
Thank you.
I love you too. And I do love your passion for fashion, right? And it got me thinking, like, here you are today, all dolled up in the Tim Gunn style, looking fabulous. But what happened during the pandemic? Were you sitting around in your suit and tie, or did you also go to the athleisure?
Well, I have to tell you, Serena, I had an epiphany about 2 months into the quarantine where I thought, I can't sit around like this. This is too ridiculous. I need to be comfortable. I need to acknowledge the fact that I'm not leaving my apartment. Though I will tell you, when I would go down to the lobby of my apartment building and collect the mail, or even going to the garbage chute, I wouldn't go out wearing my pajamas and robe. I would get dressed. And for a while, I would get dressed in a shirt and tie and maybe a cardigan, or I would wear a turtleneck sweater. And then I thought, this is ridiculous. Just Own the fact that you're wearing clothes that are more comfortable to lounge around the house in, and own it. Though I will say this, I mean, two things actually. One is I do believe that our clothes should fit us fairly well. That if there's too much volume, there's simply too much volume, and we don't look our best. The other thing is I do not believe in spending a lot of money on athleisure or comfort clothing. I just don't.
Someone finally said it, Tim. I thought I was going mad.
No,
I agree.
We are kindred spirits. It's insane. Someone said, oh, you've got to get this pair of cashmere joggers. They're calling them joggers. They're sweatpants.
Exactly. They're tracksuits.
$1,500. $1,500. How about spending $50 and giving $1,450 to a charitable cause? It's too ridiculous.
I'm with you, Tim. Oh my God. I feel validated. I couldn't love you anymore. And now you've made me love you. Before I let you go, this show, Making the Cut, I love it because it genuinely is about changing people's lives, giving them opportunities. But you being a part of this show, how has that changed your life? What impact does it have on it?
Oh, it elevates me and my spirits. It's an inspiration for me. And quite frankly, the satisfaction that I enjoy from bearing witness to these incredible, fabulously talented designers, to bear witness to their success and their growth is just the greatest honor in the world. It truly is.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us and for keeping us entertained. And thank you for spending some time with us. It was so lovely to meet you, Tim.
Thank you, Serena. Take care.
Thanks, Tim.